Let's go.
From there to here.
So how old were you when you immigrated to the U.S.?
I was 6 months old. I didn't find out I was undocumented until I was 17.
You didn't even realize that you had came over illegally your entire life?
No, I never knew.
never
I don't
knew?
believe it's something you would ask your parents or parents would bring up to you.
How'd you find out?
I applied for a driver's license.
And what'd they say?
They asked me for my social security and I didn't know what that was.
And what'd
Did
your
you know
parents
what
say?
a social security was, and that's how I found out he was illegal?
They said, oh, we have to move.
And what can you tell us about this place?
It's new. It's referred to as Cartolandia, which is homes of cart.
Cartolandia.
Wow, actually,
It's poor. I mean, we have no cement on the floor, and it's
No cement
most of
on
our
the
houses
floor?
are built with just basically it's a drywall.
Most of Mexico.
Yeah,
How many people do you think live here?
close to 1,000. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are newly deported.
President Donald Trump is directing ICE to expand deportations.
He went on to say the Democrats used them to cheat in elections and expand their voter base.
¿En Estados Unidos también usan esa canción para los helados?
Sí, es la misma canción ahí. Igualmente spooky también. Can you give us a little tour?
Yeah, well, this is my kitchen. Will be the finished kitchen once I'm done. I have some cabinets outside that I'm gonna hang up, the stove on that side, but everything's gonna be here. My little walkway and my living room. My bathroom's in here, but somebody's busy. Somebody's in the bathroom. I'm actually proud of my bathroom. I did it myself. And that's it. It's a mess. Yeah, full of a lot of junk.
What's the biggest challenge about living here?
I don't know if it's between security and honestly, just water and electricity. Sometimes we just have no light.
Sure looks hot.
Can you please just hear me out? No, all work management platforms are the same. They take forever to learn.
When you say security, what do you mean?
Well, yeah, it gets dangerous in Mexico.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, yeah, I mean, it's pretty dangerous in Mexico. It's
Yeah.
a scary place.
So far this year, more than 1,700 people have been murdered
Tijuana.
in the city of Tijuana.
Somebody just got killed yesterday in the park across the street. I mean, across the canal, the tunnel. Somebody just got killed yesterday.
What happened?
He got shot at. I'm pretty sure that this whole colonia is drug controlled, actually. Yeah.
Controlled by that one organization?
Yeah.
And you don't have to answer this if you don't want, but did you get convicted of a crime prior to being
Yeah,
deported?
I did. Actually, I got convicted of, what was it, grand theft for a bicycle that I bought, which
Damn.
was, I thought was legit, but ended up being stolen. So yeah, and it was worth at least $4,000.
You bought it on Craigslist?
No, I bought it off somebody on the street.
So you walked past a dude and he had a bike for sale.
He was offering the bike to sell, and my
Bought
brother
it.
knew him and sold me the bike, and I was like,
And he
okay.
tried to sell it back.
And I got arrested. Not even that same day I got arrested.
The
Yeah.
same
But
day.
were you caught by like a federal agency?
Oh yeah, I was at home when I was arrested and taken to federal custody. There I began deportation hearings, and I was finally deported.
The Department of Justice is issuing a
Did
directive
it quick.
now aimed at naturalized citizens who commit certain crimes.
Yeah, the move is raising concerns and some fears within the immigrant community.
It was a terrible experience saying bye to my parents.
Are they still there?
They're still over there. Yeah. Yep.
You talk to them often?
Every day.
Would you ever think about hopping the border back?
Hopping the border back.
Legally, no. Legally, if I could.
On camera
I'd-
saying that is
That's
crazy.
the first thing I shoot for. But I applied for withholdings of removal, which is
I'm not
asylum,
gonna say that on camera, bro.
based on my social party.
When you hop the border back illegally. What do you gotta say about that? The fuck?
With the LGBT community. So I'm gonna stay here for a while. I hope to see my parents again. Yeah, give them a hug. I want to go back. It's awesome.
Also, they
I
still
liked it
live over there?
out the most.
Hola chicos, estás
In and
viendo
out is dang.
Canal 5 Latinoamérica.
Y ahora estamos en un barrio en Tijuana y sabemos que en los Estados Unidos hay una conversación muy importante sobre la inmigración y el impacto económico.
Oh shit, my bad, Channel 5. My bad. They know how to speak Spanish.
De los migrantes, pero
La otra cara de la moneda de lo que no se habla, empresas extranjeras que llegan a instalarse aquí a México.
y los dos conversaciones son perfectamente encapsuladas en este área.
For reference, we're about 15 minutes away from San Diego right now, and about 100 feet away from an Amazon warehouse. Now, if you're someone who can't immediately...
What? And Amazon warehouses right there.
They
That's
tell an
crazy.
Amazon warehouse from the blue and gray decal, it may be hard to clock this place as a packing and shipping center, given the fact that they've removed their decal from the building as a
Damn,
result
that's
of
so fucked up. They just got this big ass Amazon building. It's a slum. And it's slums. Damn. Jeff Bezos, you're a fucking dick.
the shameful
You're a
optics
dick.
that ensued after the construction.
Podemos
You know what?
Decal from the
The fact that Jeff Bezos can probably fix this whole street, all of this, give everybody a house, and still be rich is like mind-boggling.
building as a result of the shameful optics that ensued after the construction.
podemos observar que en las dos esquinas donde estaba el logo de Amazon
But what would it do for them? Nothing.
ya no existe.
It wouldn't
Quitaron las
change.
letras por, no sé, ha de ser por imagen, creo. Mi perspectiva fue por lo mismo, el contraste. Letras por...
Construction.
Podemos observar que en las dos esquinas donde estaba el logo de Amazon ya no existe.
Quitaron las letras por, no sé, ha de ser por imagen, creo. Mi perspectiva fue por lo mismo, el contraste, que no daba la imagen que quería la empresa, a lo mejor yo creo.
But this is still in fact a corporate American Bezos dollar generator over
Yeah,
yonder,
they just didn't want them to know what it is.
past a couple gates and barbed wire fences. Aquí es un almacén de Amazon.
Amazon just opened its newest distribution center in Mexico.
This
That's wild, in the middle of the slums.
fulfillment center is bringing hundreds of jobs to Tijuana and is expected to shorten the delivery time throughout the northwest region of the country.
But to back up a bit, let's talk about where we are. Okay, we're in Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, in a slum called Cardboard Land. Well, it translates to Cartolandia in Spanish, but it pretty much means cardboard land, plywood land.
It's houses made out of wood that people don't pay rent.
That's crazy, and bro can't even help them. Bro can't even build like little bots. I mean, bots. I mean, little like boxes for them or something.
Me neither, but you know what I know.
A lot of people here
Just
currently work for Amazon or used to work for Amazon and built homes here to be close to their work.
Porque está cerquita. Cuando nosotros queremos buscar un trabajo, pues vamos a la Amazon. Mi hermana, mi cuñado, no sé exactamente qué realicen, pero están en envíos, trabajan de noche.
Others were recently deported from the U.S. as a result of ICE raids and deportations.
Ese ha sido deportado, pero ya tiene...
Ya tiene mucho tiempo que lo deportaron. ¿Hace cuánto fue deportado?
2005.
And a lot of people just live here because it's the cheapest place in town to get a decent apartment for under $0. You actually don't have to pay any money to live here, but you do have to put up the money to build the house that you want to live in. So if you can invest in hammers, nails, tires, mattresses, and raw materials, and build the house yourself,
Then you're straight, and you got a little area.
no rent. But if you want to
Welcome.
figure out how to put AC, gas, and water into your house, it's a bit of a different story. And by the way, if you want to watch this video totally in Spanish, you can go to Canal Cinco. It's our alternative Spanish language channel.
Oh
where we
shit.
have not only most of our main videos overdubbed in Spanish,
Coster es así en la 55.
but also different original content filmed in Latin America with myself, Andrea Chaparro,
W.
Josue, and some other friends too. We've been covering the ongoing ban on corridos, which is like a narco pop fusion music that's been happening here under the new
I
administration.
noticed that. The ban on corridos.
La prohibición de los narcocorridos.
Yo opino que tenemos que fomentar la libertad de expresión. Yo soy un productor de electrocorridos y de corridos.
Ah, pues están chidos, puro belicona, huevo.
Los corridos son ya parte de México.
Pues vine aquí a escuchar lo que traigo en la sangre, los corridos, el norteño.
We also went to Tepito Market in Mexico City, and we're covering a few other things too. So if you want to check that out, head to Canal Cinco. I'm going to
Probably gonna check that out.
put the link in the pinned comment and description box of this video. All right, back to the topic at hand, Cartolandia. While the area is currently in the spotlight due to its population of deportees,
Check that out real quick. Los corridos.
Dance your way to LA.
It's most of our houses are every day.
shipping center, given the fact the topic at hand, Cartolandia. While the area is currently in the spotlight due to its population of deportees and Amazon employees, the makeshift walls of these homes tell a story far deeper than what meets the naked eye.
Esto tiene años, hasta más de 40, 50 años tiene, nomás porque estaba rodeado de árboles.
This man, named Luis, now in his late 30s, is from the first native-born generation of Cartolandians, descending from parents who left rural parts of Mexico to find work in the city during the 1950s.
Descendiente del estado de Chiapas. Ah, ok. Sí, toda la mayoría aquí somos de familia, pues de papá y mamá de otros lugares.
And to understand why Cartolandia was built in the first place, you have to first understand post-war America.
6 years after the end of World War II, America is wealthier than ever.
All right, bear with me. So in the US, the post-war 40s, or the baby boom of the 50s, is typically thought of as being the age of prosperity, especially for the veterans who came back from Japan and Europe and stuff, and were able to enjoy the benefits of the GI Bill, like dirt cheap subsidized mortgages on new homes in the burbs, free college, monthly checks in the mail, and more. But the post-war era in America was also the beginning of American manufacturing's death spiral, leading us slowly into today's reality, where 97% of our clothing and electronics are imported from factories and sweatshops in developing nations like China, India, and Vietnam. This spiral, of course, was made possible by corporate executives, who are now dead, that at one point sought to yield a higher profit margin at the expense of American jobs. And here's how they did it. You see, back in the day in 1944, right after the war ended, there was a secret meeting in New Hampshire called the Bretton Woods Conference, where delegates from 44 different allied nations all met up to create something called the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, aka the World Bank, which set the US dollar as the official global currency. #1, baby, printed right there in Philadelphia. This in turn gave us the magical ability to at will decide how much other countries' money was worth. And if you've ever been to a foreign country and asked yourself,
crazy. What the fuck?
how the heck it costs you 100,000 of their dollars to get a cup of coffee in the morning, here's why. The US artificially devalued the currencies of dozens of countries through modified exchange rates after becoming the world standard in 1944, whereafter American business titans frantically built factories in the countries with the lowest dollar, in order to pay people in these countries as little as possible for labor and raw materials. This process is called economic globalization and is the reason for much of the world's poverty, as it forces formerly self-sufficient and non-capital obsessed countries to industrialize, yet never have the opportunity to evolve into anything more than glorified factory states or amusement park countries for more powerful nations like us. And this was especially true of Mexico in the 1950s. Unlike today, where border cities like Tijuana and Ciudad Juarez are among the country's most populous, border towns were borderline non-existent back in the day. For perspective, in 1930, Mexico City was home to 1.1 million people, and Tijuana had less than 9,000 people living in it. But shortly after tanking the peso back in '44, American companies began building hundreds of steel factories and assembly plants as close to home as possible, which meant across the border from San Diego and Tijuana.
Tijuana es una ciudad que atrae mucha inversión extranjera porque somos frontera con San Diego, con California, que es la quinta economía mundial. Y aquí alrededor también, cerca, está una garita, un cruce fronterizo, el cruce de Otay, y por lo tanto muchas empresas quieren estar cerca de la garita de Otay para que una vez que terminen sus productos poderlos cruzar de manera rápida, de manera inmediata.
This, in turn, caused a mass rural exodus of Mexicans from the countryside who arrived by the tens of thousands into the city in search of work. Some of these people had literally pennies, or rather devalued pesos, to their name, and slept in cars or outside these factories on the streets. But others, particularly those who were nice with the hammer, built Cartolandia in 1955. The first iteration of this settlement was about 2 miles upriver from where it is today, in the Zona Rio district near the San Ysidro border crossing. Initially only home to a couple hundred workers, the area continued to explode in population as American factories continued to be built, and by 1968, 25,000 people. That's right, an entire Taylor Swift arena full of people, called Cartolandia home. But it was seen as something of an eyesore by the more affluent residents of the city who called for its destruction.
Se tomó la decisión de desalojar esta zona.
All right, now before we get into how the first Cartolandia was destroyed by the state government, I want to tell you guys about a service that I just used. I stood.
No free promo. Love you. Love you, Andrew. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Come on.
Right here on this back to Cart.
Dispersed that same day, bulldozing the entire area overnight. While the Baja state government saw this forced eviction as an end-all be-all, they were dead wrong. Like in the case of most homeless sweeps in the States, where they just kind of kick people around and expect them to figure out life somewhere else, Cartolandians simply migrated to a new hub just blocks away from where the fuzz was giving them guff, specifically at a strip of land that was classified as undesignated federal territory.
Miren, recordemos que estos terrenos no son propiedad privada. Son federales.
You deserve the best. At Harbor Freight, you can afford it. Performance, durability.
Entonces, ¿quién es el dueño del terreno federal? Es Conagua, la Comisión Nacional del Agua, pero la Comisión Nacional del Agua no tiene la estructura, ni el aparato, ni los recursos, ni el personal humano, ni la intención de venir a sacar a la gente, ¿no? Tampoco lo va a hacer.
So that same year, Cartolandia 2.0 was born, but renamed Nueva Esperanza, Spanish for New Hope. While visually the second settlement looked almost identical to the first, the demographic was quite different. Think less migrant factory workers from other parts of Mexico and more fresh deportees recently expelled from the US with nowhere to go. And also, no money. As I mentioned, Cartolandia is free if you can build your own house. And many deported people did, the first of whom were deported in and around 1986 after Reagan passed the Immigration Reform and Control Act, bringing forth a new era of border militarization and expanding the use of expedited removal. This led to multiple decades of unprecedented mass deportations under the Clinton, Bush, and especially Obama administration. Many older Cartolandia residents today are products of those eras.
Cuando crucé tenía como edad de 17 años, 16, 17 años. Me deportaron en el 2005, ya llevo ya casi 20 años aquí.
2005.
Ajá.
¿Y cuánto tiempo ya llevaba viviendo allá? ¿De qué lado?
Casi 14 años. En Los Ángeles, California.
Sí. ¿Qué parte?
En el este de Los Ángeles.
Okay.
Tengo mis hijos allá, mi familia, y me cuentan que ya está un poco más difícil.
Masked federal agents are often seen raiding homes, businesses, even daycares.
The fear sparked by mass deportations, targeted workplace ICE raids, and random stops is driving people into hiding and keeping them away from everyday life.
¿Qué piensas sobre tu vida aquí?
Tranquilo, pues tengo trabajo, y pues ya tengo otra familia acá, pues ya voy al día nada más, o sea, pues ya no anhelo cruzar otra vez, no.
Despite its rugged look, there's actually a decent amount of infrastructure in the area, which is something that residents repeatedly emphasized to me during interviews.
Ya todo está bien, ya tenemos los servicios, ya se paga agua, luz, predial.
And to be honest, their setup isn't half bad. There's a small electrical grid setup with wires connected to light poles. There's a water filtration system that draws and purifies water from the nearby irrigation canal. And there's also a church, 2 stores, and a free elementary school for special needs children. Still, it goes without saying that conditions there are quite rough, particularly in regards to the lack of plumbing, AC, and some say the abysmal police response time. So what would happen in theory if somebody tried to break into your house and steal one of your pots and pans?
Nothing.
They would definitely just get away with it. I wouldn't put up much of a fight. Go ahead, take the pots and pans.
But if you tried to call the police,
yeah, they would probably come out tomorrow. They'll probably come out tomorrow and tell me the same thing, like, well, we'll look for your guy with the pots.
However, many residents thought this would all change back in 2021 when Amazon opened up its brand new fulfillment center right next door, promising to bring positive change to the neighborhood.
It was said by the community that Amazon said they were going to help build better houses.
Oh, they did?
Material, cement, and that never happened.
But what did happen is that a ton of people got hired.
La mayoría estamos aquí en la empresa.
Entonces, ¿sí usted sí está a favor de que Amazon haya llegado aquí?
Sí, la verdad sí, a nosotros sí nos convino muchísimo. Sí, la gente que está trabajando en Amazon, pues gracias a Dios que existe esta fábrica, porque con ese dinero que paga la Amazon, pues salen adelante la gente aquí trabajando.
Yo trabajé con Amazon y sí, cuando nosotros trabajaba había mucho calor, nos regalaba agua fresca, pues.
Es una nueva oportunidad de vida, un nuevo comienzo.
Mejia earns 2,000 pesos a week as a janitor, working for a factory in the same business park as the Amazon Fulfillment Center.
How much is that? $100.
In addition to health insurance, Amazon employees in Cartolandia were also getting paid 52 pesos an hour, which while only $1.85 in the US, is still significantly above Mexican minimum.
Wait, damn!
Pesos an hour, which while only $1.80 insurance, Amazon employees in Cartolandia were also getting paid 52 pesos an hour, which
52 pesos an hour, that's $1.
Only
$85. What? That's great.
85 cents in the US is still significantly above Mexican minimum wage.
A la vez estoy en favor porque nos da trabajo y todo eso. Ahí la estamos viendo, como mexicana ahí estamos buscándole trabajo en lo que encontremos, en lo que haya. Esperemos que hubiera un metro también aquí, o sea, algo aquí.
Para moverse más rápido, ¿no?
Sí, porque ahorita con los transportes, ahorita que aumentaron.
However, despite the positive sentiment about Amazon amongst residents, the controversy caused by really a single photograph changed the game forever. That photo of the warehouse looming behind the slums, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen, drew ire from the international press, baking its way into the collective conscience of American progressives.
The result of this new distribution center will save costs and deliver time.
I'll never forget this as long as I live.
This news is funded by viewers like you.
You know those large cardboard boxes?
They got a big ass warehouse, and then they got cardboard boxes. People living right there that are working. That's crazy.
That refrigerators come into and stoves those big. That's where people were living. They were living literally in cardboard boxes. So workers in America were thrown out on the street, and people in Mexico exploited in a horrible way in these big, shiny new factories at the time.
This bad PR, some feel, caused Amazon to first remove their logo and then close up shop shortly after.
Pues yo que sepa, no sé si está funcionando ahorita.
¿Ahorita no está funcionando?
No hay movimiento. No se ve nada.
¿Que te haga mucho gusto eso de las fotos y todo eso?
Sí, porque se estaba haciendo muy viral. Sí, se estaba haciendo muy viral que Amazon se puso en un lugar, pero siempre salen las fotos donde están las casitas en la calle, o sea, es como si yo fuera a la zona centro y tomo una foto donde están las casitas de, no sé, los que están donde están los inmigrantes. Y digo, esto es zona centro. O sea, no sé si sea por ahorita el caso que está pasando con Estados Unidos sobre los aranceles y todo eso, pero ahorita no hay tanto movimiento. No hay tanto movimiento, exacto.
Yet, despite the new apparent absence of Amazon, residents have their own ways of making money. Mira, azúcar, el fentanilo de este país. Some manufacture clothes, one cuts hair, and others work remotely for American companies.
Yes.
What do you do for work mainly here?
Here, I work as an agent for a call center.
Really?
Call center, yeah. And I work from home, so it's awesome.
What kind of things do you say when you call people?
I mainly just set up appointments for a psychologist in Orange County.
Psychiatrists or psychologists?
Psychiatrists,
like people who need counseling, not people who want to understand the mechanisms of thought.
True that. Yeah, I set up appointments for a psychiatrist.
So somebody will call you saying like they have depression, and you'll pair them with a therapist?
Yeah, I'll pair them with a therapist, availability, and with kids with Alzheimer's or certain things like that.
You think everybody should do therapy?
Yes. I think it's important. I get calls and they last me about 30 minutes, and I'm like, lady, you need to talk to somebody. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it. Anything you want to say to the people?
Well, look out for the Mexicans, you know?
Right, thanks.
How crazy.
Appreciate it.
Canal 5 en vivo en todo el mundo, Hollywood.
Maldita autoridad. Canal 5 Noticias.
Canal.
Bye. Have a great time.